Okay, I'm calling this 3-point-x because it's not actually from chapter 3, but it's a good strategy we're going to use. Okay, we're going to solve equations with multiple fractions, and this is one strategy for getting rid of them. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and remember how we normally solve them when there's one fraction. So example 0 is something we know already. It's 2/3 x minus 5 equals 7. Let's cancel the 5. And then what do we get? We get 2/3 x equals 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then to cancel the 2/3, we can multiply by the reciprocal, left, right. And the nice thing is it cancels out the 2's and the 3's. So x equals, and then to help us, sometimes we put a 1 at the bottom here. 12 times 3 is 36. 1 times 2 is 2. So we get x equals 18, okay, which is not bad. Okay, now for the equations we're going to do today, though, they're going to have multiple fractions in them, and we have solved things like this. So this is 2/3 x plus 4 equals 5/3. I would like to minus the 4, and I can minus the 4, but I'm going to need to get a common denominator, and some of you don't really love common denominators. So this is another method when there's more than one fraction in the equation. So we're going to clear the fractions. If an equation has multiple fractions, you may want to clear the fractions by multiplying the entire equation by the least common denominator to make it easier to solve. Okay, so let's just look at this. We just don't like the fractions, so we don't like the denominators. So the denominator I see is there's a 3 and there's a 3 here. So I really just don't like the 3. So my only goal is to get rid of the 3. So this says I can multiply the entire equation by 3, and it should clear the fraction out. So I have to distribute the fraction to everything. I'm going to put it over 1 just so it makes it easier. So I have to do 3 times this, this, and this to all the terms. I'm going to start with the first term. If you do 2/3 times 3 in your head, I'm fine with it, but I'm going to show a middle step. Okay, so I'm going to do 2/3 times 3 over 1. I'm going to times the top numbers. 2 times 3 is 6. And then on the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3, and I'm going to keep the x with it, plus. Okay, now I need to do the 4 times the 3, which is 12. And then I need to do 5 over 3 times 3 over 1, which again, if you do it in your head, I'm okay with it. I'm going to show the middle step. I'm going to multiply the numerators. 5 times 3 is 15. And then on the bottom, 3 times 1 is 3. Now this does not look better yet. However, the fraction should simplify and then it will look better. So for the first term, 6 divided by 3 is 2x. I'm going to bring down to plus 12 equals 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, now the equation doesn't have any fractions. I still have to solve it, but it's a little bit easier to solve. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve it like normal. Okay, so I got x equals -7/2. So my answer was a fraction, but that's okay because it wasn't terrible once I simplified it a little bit. Let's go ahead and try the next one. Okay, I have 3/7 x plus 2 equals x plus 1/7. I only clear if I have to. So if I were trying to solve this, I would minus the x over. I can minus the x, but I'm going to have to do a common denominator. And so we're going to practice doing it without that. We're going to clear the fractions. So if I want to clear the fractions, I look at the denominators. This one has a 7 as a denominator, 7 here. So I want to get rid of the 7's. So I'm going to multiply everything by 7. If it's helpful, you can write 7 over 1. Okay, but remember, you have to times this, 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 and this by 7. Now, if you multiply it in your head, you can cancel the fractions out right away. I'm going to show an extra step. So I'm going to do 3/7 times 7 over 1. I times the top. 3 times 7 is 21. Over. At the bottom, 7 times 1 is 7. And then make sure you bring down the x. Bring down the minus sign. Okay, 2 times 7, 14, equals x times 7, 7x, plus fraction, top, bottom. 1 times 7, 7. 7 times 1, 7. Okay, it doesn't look great, but it should simplify if I've done it correctly. So 21 over 7 is 3x. And then 7 divided by 7 is 1. And now you can go ahead and solve how you normally like to solve. You could move the 14, the 7, there's many ways to solve this. I trust your solving skills now. Yeah, I got x equals negative 15 over 4. I don't have a problem with getting a fraction answer. It's pretty common with crazy fractions. Let's do a couple more together. If you're working ahead, I put the answers at the bottom apparently. Okay, these two are a little trickier though. Okay. Let me see. If I want to minus a fifth, I can, but there's a common denominator, so let's try to get rid of the fractions. Okay, I want to get rid of the 2, and I want to get rid of the 5. So there's two numbers I'm trying to get rid of. So I need to multiply by something that'll divide by 2 and 5. So if I do 2 times 5, I get 10. So I'm going to times everything by 10. Okay, and then remember, if it's helpful, you can make it 10 over 1. If it's not helpful, leave it 10. But you have to times 1, 2, 3 things by 10. Let me start with this. Top 30 over, I'm going to times the bottom, 2 times 1, 2. Okay, bring down the x and the plus sign. Let's try the next one. Top, 1 times 10, 10. 5 times 1, 5. Okay, one more. 1 times 10 is 10. Okay, and now I know it doesn't look better yet, but it should at the next step. 30 divided by 2 is 15x. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And now it looks good. I can go ahead and solve it. Good. I got 8 over 15. And it's not uncommon to get fractions on these, so don't freak out. Let's do one more together, and then you're going to go free. Okay, there's a lot of fractions. So I'm trying to cancel the 3, the 6, and the 2. There's more than one way to do it. Okay, but to get rid of a 3, I could use a 3. To get rid of 6, I could use 6. Okay, the easiest number to use is 6. And that's because 6 divides by 3, 6 divides by 6, and 6 divides by 2. If you use 12, that would also work because that also divides by 3, 6, and 2. If you use 24, that would also work. 18 would work. There's more than one way that will work, but if possible, I like to use a smaller number so it makes it easier for me to solve. So if you did it differently, that's okay. We should get the same answer. Okay, now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 things to time. So let's go one by one. 6 times 2, 12. 3 times 1, 3. Bring down the x. 4 times 6, 24. 5 times 6, 30. 6 times 1, 6. 1 times 6, 6. 2 times 1, 2. Bring down the x. Okay, and then the next step is when things should start to look up. Let's go ahead and you cancel what you would like. I'm going to take care of the x's first, and I'll take care of the numbers. Okay, so I got x equals negative 19. And again, if you used a different number out here, 12, 18, 24, 36, you should get the same answer, but it just means in the middle, you're going to have bigger numbers along the way. Okay, go ahead and try the practice problems.